Shalom. First and foremost, call Loyin wa Kabbalah, Yahweh Bashim, Yahushai Bashim, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great Muslim who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all fellow laborers of the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. And as Yahushai said, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. In a direction that this earth is being taken into under the rule of the serpent, the devil, the destroyer, the man of sin, we'd all die off. And this thing it's getting worse and worse, and this devil is totally out of control. Now, just maybe about a week ago, I did a lesson called "This is why the Lord has to shorten the days." The devil is weaponizing and controlling the food supply, and you're seeing that, with them, taking over the food supply chain. They got all the farmers and those that manufacture a lot of the food that we consume in this society on this soil. They've been getting them to sabotage the supply. They've been buying up all the farmland, and they've been using these laboratories to actually, splice, genetically edit, certain organisms to create artificial plants, fruit. Uh, they're 3D printing meat, and this is pretty much your future. This is supposed to be the bright future ahead of you, according to the globalist elite. And this is very diabolical. This is very satanic. And they know that this is going to gradually and slowly kill off the world's population. I mean, a dude like Bill Gates of hell, who has an obsession with depopulation, reducing, the world's population. This same guy is actually funding, you know, billions of dollars into the food industry. That should tell you all you need to know, and how he's bought up all these acres of farmland all throughout Babylon. So, you know, we at the worst of the worst. All right, we at the worst case scenario, man, and we long for the Lord to come back and get us up out of there. All right, hey, I mean, as it is written, it is of the Lord's mercies that we're not even consumed. Given this food supply, the food that we're putting in our body, we don't even know. All right, let's go. Let's get that. Let's get Lamentations 3 and verse 22. And it says, "It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not." And ultimately, because the Lord, he placed his name upon us. He said, "I am the Lord, and I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed." So the Lord is not gonna, destroy us. So even if we're putting, certain foods, because we try to eat to the best of our ability, you know, uh, a quality diet, but we know that everything is pretty much contaminated. All right, even what they call or label organic is not even organic. So we're just, holding on to the good graces and mercy of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. He's the one that's keeping us alive. All right, the Lord heals. He wounds and he heals. He kills and he makes alive. So the water for his mercy, because this devil, he's not going to show any mercy in these last days. He's not showing any mercy, man. All right, and he wants everything sewn up, from every organism that you put inside your body, every food that you consume, the portion that you consume. He wants control of that. So that brings me to this video right here. This is 17 minutes, 11 seconds long. I'm definitely not going to play the whole thing. I just want to play this part right here where this Jake, he took, he bought a bag of whiting fish, and it was supposed to be manufactured and transported from Ecuador. But we know that they lie on the packaging. A lot of this food that we think is, being shipped in and is manufactured elsewhere and is healthy and is organic is really laboratory made. And he's going to show you, with this experiment, he's going to take, these whiting fishes that he cut up in pieces. He's going to show you that, this is not real fish, because real fish don't do what you're getting ready to see it do. All right. Showing you that we're in the worst case scenario and we definitely need salvation. So let me play this real quick.
Wild caught.
Hold on, let me adjust the audio so we don't hear no feedback.
Fish. And of course, we know that anything on the label, you might as well just ignore, because these people are liars. They've been liars from the beginning, and everything they do, they lie about. So even if it's labeled organic or it's labeled wild caught, can you really trust these people at the end?
No, you can't. Matter of fact, let's get a scripture on that. You already know where I'm going. Since he said what he just said, no, you can't trust these devils, man. Let's go to Sirach 12. Yeah, Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10, it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And basically, you can never believe him. Never, ever. All right, when they're trying to play like they're trying to, save humanity from themselves, and they're trying to help create food and all these sustainable development goals to save humanity, there is really, they're speaking with a forked tongue. All right, they're not really speaking to actually save the world. They're speaking to further put the world in turmoil so that they can seize control from it. That's the overall goal. All right, when it says in Sirach 14:7, when they do it good, they do it unwillingly, but at the end, they will declare their wickedness. So you have to be an idiot to trust these devils. You trust in his pharmaceutical industry. You trust in his, his food. Basically, if you trust in the government itself, you got to be a damn idiot. You trust in the FDA with all those different recalls, every year. When they recall certain drugs and products that's causing you know uh, medical issues, ailments, infirmities, illnesses, and even deaths. You have to be an idiot to trust them. Was that Jeremiah 13? If you really think this man was designed to do good, Jeremiah 13 verse 23 says, can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. I mean, the Lord made this devil to be the vessel of wrath. He's the vessel of dishonor. So no, he's not here to do good. So why would you trust him? All right. So let's go back and let's finish this real quick.
At the end of the day, the answer is obviously no. And you certainly can't trust the FDA, the CD, or any of these organizations who I can't even name here on YouTube, because there's restrictions in place for questioning them and what they do. But take a look anyway at this video clip that was shared on the website, which is really, really disturbing. In regards to fish, does this look like fish to you?
I bought this brand fish. It said it's supposed to be wild caught, right? Wild caught from Ecuador. Now, I ain't knocking nobody hustle, but this just don't seem kosher to me. Now, watch this. This is a slice of fish. This is supposed to be whitey. It's got skin on everything. Look at it. Right? The insides of it is like a diaper material. Look at that. You know, like a wet diaper?
Yeah, that definitely ain't supposed to look that way. All right. I get whiting. I know what it look like. We know what real fish looks like. That's clearly not fish. All right, whatever they design in the laboratory, that ain't it. But this is what they're trying to sell to you. And you wonder why people are dying early from different health complications. You know, cancer, heart disease, because we're consuming death and don't even realize it. That's why I have to go to that in Lamentations, the third chapter, the 22nd verse. Man, it's the Lord's mercies that we're not even consumed. But even though we're still here, we do suffer in the flesh. Be feeling like hell, man. And the scriptures talk about that. That the world is passing away, through age, and is weak through infirmities. The haughty people languish and fade away. The earth because it's defiled of the inhabitants thereof. The rulers, they change the order. They're trying to dictate to you what's real food and what isn't. They're trying to tell you that their artificial shit is organic, and the organic stuff that comes from the earth, which is ordained of the Father, is illegal. You have no right to grow it. And those that were growing it, you got to get rid of it. You got to dump it. So this man is as deaf, like the scriptures say. He is as deaf. All right. His desire is as hell, and he is as deaf. So this is what he's putting in this earth, and this was gonna ruin us. So you brothers and you sisters, and if you buying that processed shit, or these fillets that come in a bag, make sure you do what he just did right there, and check, because we know that the real fish, if you put it in water and then squeeze on it, it's gonna crumble up, like flake up, so to speak. But he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna actually wring the fish, and you're gonna see it's basically like a damn sponge. It's not gonna break up or anything. Why? Just pay attention.
Right? Now, watch this. Now, where do you know a fish? You can squeeze it like a sponge, like this. Where on the planet you know you can squeeze a fish like that? Now, look. Put it back in the water. And it's whole again. It's a fish. See? Get another slice. I know it probably got them, but I ain't never seen them like this. I seen them. This was the biggest. I remember seeing them like this right here. And look, it's all the same. You squeeze it like a sponge. Look, it ain't breaking up or nothing. And you put it in the water, and it's a whole fish again, right? Now, how?
And none of that is breaking down in your body, and it's being stored right in your body, and that's the reason why people are obese. Obesity is at an all-time high because you're eating a lot of fake food that has no nutrients and it's not breaking down in your body. All right, this should have kill you, man. You go to these fast food restaurants, a lot of that is fake. It's artificial. It's GMO, and GMOs do not break down. All right, so just imagine what this probably does, to your organs, man, causing all type of you know, clots in your arteries. We got to get the hell up out of here, man. I'll finish this out, and then I'll bring out a few more scriptures. And this is a pretty good video. I'd recommend you brothers and you few sisters, if you haven't seen it, to watch this. All right, this is what I was trying to get into in this lesson right here. It's why the Lord has to shorten the days, man, because He's weaponizing His food against us. This is part of the depopulation, not just with His pharmaceutical drugs, with the damn pharmakia potions and all that. No, He's gonna try to kill you with the food. He's dumping all this poison in our water supply. They put the G-fene nanite particles, in your water, and they put it in your lettuce. They're gonna try to put it in your leafy greens. They contaminating everything, man. So we pray that the door, we pray that the Lord, shorten the days, man. He makes the days shorter. All right.
How crazy is that? Now, could somebody explain this to me? Look, another piece. Squeeze it like a sponge. Put it in the water. It's a fish again.
Pretty freaky stuff, right? But we know that they've been messing with the food supply chain for a long time. But of course, you always think to yourself, well, I could go somewhere and I could catch fish and I could, live off the grid on my own. Well, they've already obviously thought of that. And that's why they've done things like this as well, which I'm going to show you in a second, which is putting fish into a circulation that aren't real fish. Right? And we know that they do this stuff. We've seen them constantly talk about it. I'll talk about Bill Gates as well and his fascination and interest suddenly over the last few years in fish, because obviously they've thought about people who are trying to go off the grid or trying to,
Yeah, there ain't no escaping it, man. This devil, he got it all figured out. And it tells you that in Psalm 64. That's why we always go to this chapter. It's very heavy. All right. They do a diligent search. All right. Because that's how diabolical these devils are, man. Psalm 64, verse 1. Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And then when you jump down, it says, verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares. Privately they say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them in the heart is deep. You know, that they, that they would, stoop, to this level of basically making sure that nobody escape, the wrath, so to speak. You're not about to live sovereign. You're not about to go off the grid. If you try to go off the grid, well, hey, you're gonna still eat from what we created. So they're making it to where you cannot escape the clutch of his his global enterprise. So this man, the only way is for him to be taken down, man. Let's get this in the other translation. In LT it says, as they plot their crimes, they say we have devised the perfect plan. Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. NIV, they plot injustice and say we have devised a perfect plan. Surely the human mind and heart are cunning. Especially the mind of this devil. All right, so we can't really escape it, man. And that's according to prophecy as well, Ezekiel 4 and verse 13. And it says, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. And we just so happen to be in the midst of a gradual food shortage, and the price of everything is going up because the value of the monetary system is declining at a rapid rate. So not only do you have defiled, contaminated food that's destroying your body, but you got to pay extra for it. And that's really bringing you to a famine, because You eating and consuming a lot of it, and you're not satisfied. You just keep eating it and eating it and eating it, and it's not breaking down in your body, and you developing all these health complications. So these devils are capitalizing off of defiled bread while trying to simultaneously starve you out. So it gets no diabolical than these 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 like I don't even know what to call them, man. Are basically the border of wickedness, which that's basically what Esau is, pursuing the Malachi. All right. So we gotta definitely be delivered, from out of this man's clutches, man. Because hey, like it says in Revelation 12, the devil is coming down with great wrath because he knows that he has but a short time. They know their time is coming. So they want to take as many people as possible. They're gonna bring as many people down with them as possible. But all that's gonna happen is the Lord's gonna take you out of power. He's gonna destroy everything that you worked with your hands, that you labored from your youth. All right, and the world's gonna be at rest. Because right now the earth is in mourning. The animals, the trees. It says that the earth, it mourneth and languishes, man. It's growing weaker and weaker by the moment. He's ruining the earth through his technology and all the wars that he's causing, but yet he's blaming it on the activity of the people and pseudoscience, aka climate change. So the earth won't be able to get rest until he's taken out of power. So let's get Isaiah 14 and verse 4. And this is after he gets taken down. As a matter of fact, I'm actually reading it in the NLT. Isaiah 40, it's like Isaiah 14, verse 4, it says in the NLT, you will taunt the king of Babylon, which is Esau. You will say, the mighty man has been destroyed. Yes, your insolence is ended. For the Lord has crushed your wicked power and broken your evil rule. And this is one evil rule. No nation on the planet Earth has ruled with the amount of evil to this extent in the history of the world. The Babylonians didn't even rule this evil. The Medio Persians didn't rule this evil. The Assyrians didn't rule this evil. All right. When we was in captivity under Egypt, everything flourished. But when this devil comes into power, everything is just, and it tells you that when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases. All right. So when you get brought down, you will no longer be seen as this honorable, noble individual with all his power and all his wealth. All right, the whole world's gonna look down upon you, man. Okay, so it says, you struck the people with endless blows of rage and held the nations in your angry grip with unrelenting tyranny. All these guidelines and restrictions and you know unrighteous decrees, policies. You know, them coming with them trying to govern your speech on the internet, the ministry of truth. They don't want you. They causing all these false flags so that they can justify themselves taking away your free speech. Or you having a belief, and you can't challenge their narrative or what they put out. That's restricted. So it's just nothing but unrelenting tyranny. They controlling what you can eat, how much, and pretty soon how much you're gonna be able to buy and eat. All right. And that's how you know this is that beast who was given great authority on the earth. All right. And he's ruling with an iron fist. But when his ass is out of there, verse 7, but finally the earth is at rest and quiet. Now it can sing again. All right. The earth is going to finally rejoice. It's going to be rejuvenated. It tells you that in Second Esdras, was it the 12th chapter or the 11th chapter? That once Rome goes down, which I mean those chapters is about ancient Rome, but we know that Babylon is a modern Rome now, and once this same beast gets taken out, which this is the resurfacing of the Roman Empire, whose deadly wound was healed, is going to go back into is going to go into perdition. And once that takes place, then the world can finally rejoice and be refreshed. Second Esdras 11 and verse let me see, I'll start at verse 39. It says, Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? Yeah, the end of Esau's world. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that follows. When they kept asking Yahweh Shai, when shall be the sign of the end? That was talking about when shall be the end of this age, when this devil gets brought down so he can implement the kingdom. And back then it wasn't that time. The beast had to get wounded with a deadly wound, but it had to resurface. All right, and ascend out of the bottomless pit and be loose for a season. And that's where we're at now. We're at the last end of it. All right, it says, and the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past. All the old beasts, they had their dominion, and they came and went. Because the Lord determines the boundaries of kingdoms, and you can't go past what the Lord determines. And right now, Esau's kingdom is found, wanting. And it says, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and as you can see, with much wicked oppression, taxing, usury, going around exploiting everything. And so long time dwelt he on the earth with deceit, because he's a deceiver. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth, but thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars. That's why everybody in the industry and everybody that's successful in this man's world, they all are a bunch of liars, or they have to make a covenant, you know, with death. You know, it says, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and has cast down the walls of such did thee no harm. You didn't remove landmarks. You know, you didn't destroy, the dwellings and homes of those who brought forth fruit. Come on, man. You didn't turn whole cities into wastelands, desert, desolate wilderness. All right, certain places can't even, grow food because you didn't, bombed it. It says, therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up to the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And this is dealing with ancient Rome. All right, roughly you had the 12 feathers, the 12 Caesars that ruled, and then right after that, Jake took over. He saw when he ruled, which I mean, it still was wickedness going on when Jake took over, but he saw he's such an abominable individual. It tells you that in Hebrews that he's a fornicator and a profane person. So all abominations are right with him. That's why it's rampant in this society, man. Especially the rainbow mafia. So we come into a time where these iniquities, all right, are actually being fulfilled. All right, the sins are reaching unto heaven. It says, and therefore appear no more, thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed. It'll finally be able to regain its strength. That way, you know, things that grow in the earth and come out of the earth may, grow strong. All right, it's gonna, produce quality. Right now, everything is jacked up. It says, and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. All right, and the Lord's creation can't wait. They can't wait for the real righteous judges and rulers to rule this world. All right, and that's going to happen, man. Let's go Revelation 11 and 18. And it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So the Lord's going to reward his servants. These nations are going to get judged, and Esau, because he helped destroy the world, his kingdom is going to get destroyed. All right, and he'll be finally taken out of the way, and the earth can finally rest again. And we ain't got to deal with GMOs and food that's going to poison us and kill us, man, and break our body down. Plus, we're going to be given extraterrestrial bodies anyway, so those bodies won't be able to break down or get sick or suffer any pain or infirmities. All right. And we should be standing up for righteousness, man, and condemning this devil. All right. You ain't gonna hear vocab condemn this devil what he's doing. He's so concerned with the Israelites. So that he's a devil too. So anyway, I just want to go into that and like I said, y'all be cautious. If you buying that fish in the bag, the frozen fish, them fillets, hey man, try this experiment. If that shit sponge up, throw that shit in the trash. You want to have to go to the Whole Foods and maybe get your meat from there. So anyway, I hope this was edifying. I'm give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Shai. Until the next lesson, Shalom.